Welcome back. Yes, happy Tuesday. It is another Tuesday, which means this is another recap wrap up video show for y'all. We just finished up with NFL Week 13, and what can I say? I could have did better. I was predicting a lot of upsets, and only person that really got upset was me. So definitely apologize to people who tell a lot of my upset picks. I was off on majority of these picks. So yeah, it's back to the drawing board for me. The hot streak is over. Transparency's sake, I went below 500 this week. Went 7-9. Not loving that at all. Definitely was very surprising. Thanksgiving was very very tough for me. I mean, it was great, being with family and all, but it was just tough seeing a lot of these picks that I had lined up did not come through. So I'm definitely gonna be talking about that throughout the video, and going through each game on a Week 13 card, and tell you my wins, tell you my losses. So with that being said, I'm gonna hop right back into this in the card with this first game, which was the Packers and the Lions. Thought the Lions was gonna take this one. The Lions was home. This is their Super Bowl where they play every Thanksgiving game, but they didn't show anything this game. They let Jordan Love just pass the ball all down the field with him. He finished with 234 yards with 4 touchdowns. And Parsons, he looking like that was a really trade of the year. 2.5 sacks. But I think this more speaks to Detroit injuries. St. Brown, he got hurt early in that game. I want to say it was the 6 minute mark in the first quarter. So that just kind of changed the whole offense and how what they was doing, what they was scheming. And then Gibbs, he had less than 100 all-purpose yards. He had 68 rushing yards and another 18 yards through the passing game. So these injuries was too much to come up, and that's what you really want to do. You want to give Gibbs the ball. Anytime he has less than 100 all-purpose yards is a problem. So they got to figure out a way to get him the ball. I don't know what St. Brown injury status is. But safe to say is he might be, limited in the next couple of weeks, if he even plays the next couple of weeks with that ankle injury. So next game on the Thanksgiving card was the Chiefs and the Cowboys. This was another L for me. Another L. Wow. The Chiefs, geez, they was in the game playing, but like the Cowboys is just heating up right now. They're heating up at the right time. The defense is playing a lot better, and the offense is just as explosive as the Rams. With Pickens and Lamb. So this is gonna be a hard team just because they got those two studs in the air. Don't forget Ferguson as well. So this is gonna be a tough team to beat if their defense is sound. And it looks like after that Quentin Williams trade, this defense is kind of shoring up and getting some confidence going into the season. In terms of the Chiefs is just not scaring anybody. It was a period of time like, oh, we see the Chiefs on the schedule. They was a little bit nervous. They was a little bit scared. But when no run game, this run game is a joke. They got an old Kareem Hunt in a game, and they got Pacheco on basically one leg. So, they tried to address well, apparently they tried to address it at the trade deadline. I heard they was trying to get Breece Hall. And then Jets wasn't ultimately going for that. But that's what's missing for the Chiefs. There's like no really explosive players beside Rashee Rice and Patrick Mahomes. Kelsey, he's still getting it done, but nevertheless, nobody's scared of the Chiefs anymore, and they know they can come in the Chiefs' kingdom, or even if they're home or away, they know they can play this team and come out with a win. Next game, speaking about people that's not scared nobody no more, is the Ravens. Man, this used to be a fierce team. The defense used to be scared to go against them, and they had a lot of hard hitters and heavy hitters. But yeah, they haven't really been showing up. Then Burrow came back to the Bengals, and looks like he's trying to save the Bengals and in a weak division and make a playoff push. Like, this division is weak. Like, you got the Ravens, you got the Bengals, you got the Steelers, and who's the fourth team? I can't think of on top of my head. Oh, and the Browns. So you got those four teams: the Browns, you got the Ravens, you got the Bengals, and you got the Steelers. So this is a very winnable division. Burrow's coming back. This is going to be interesting between the Ravens and the Bengals now. For a long period of time, I had the Ravens running the table, but now that Burrow came back off this first game, he had a pretty good, solid game, 261 yards with 2 passing touchdowns in his first game back, and he's only going to get better once he gets more weeks moved from the injury. In terms of the Ravens, I cannot say the same. They're not feeding King Henry the ball. He had that big run in the first half. I wouldn't even say the first quarter, and it looked like, okay, yeah, the Ravens about to roll because the Bengals got a historically bad defense. But Lamar Jackson looks like he is still rusty. He looks like he's still shaking off this rust. He had another 3 turnovers and 3 sacks, and that's not Lamar Jackson like. Like, it's so difficult to get a sack on him. And the fact they got 3 sacks and 3 turnovers on this man, it's showing that this dude is still rusty, and this Ravens team is definitely suspect. I just had them winning out because of division week. Now that Burrow's coming back, I think it's going to be between these two guys, and this win against the Ravens is going to go a long way with the fight on seeding. Next game, this was another L for me. I love my Bears. I love them to death, but I had them losing because I didn't know they was gonna be able to force 2 turnovers on the Eagles. So that's what they do. They force turnovers and they secure a win. I told you that's literally a hack. If you want to get some good money on, bet the Bears get a turnover and bet the Bears money line, and because the Bears, I don't believe they can get a win without a turnover. And like the Bears was rolling, like they was running all over this Eagles defense, 250 plus yards between Swift and Monongai rushing, and they both had touchdowns this game. So this running attack is looking very solid. This was the first time this happened since 1985, and this defense had 2 turnovers as well. So this defense is playing very, very well. Jalen Johnson came back. And Breyer had another interception. He's looking like a Pro Bowler. But the Eagles, man, where was Saquon? This dude had 56 yards rushing, and he had 0 air yards to the passing game. And he even had 2 drops on 2 targets. So I don't know about Saquon right now. Is it the Madden crush? Is it all those touches? Is the offensive line injuries, but Barkley is not looking explosive no more. And it could be this offense too. But yeah, very surprising that the Eagles dropped this game. But as a Bears fan, I'm definitely loving it. We securing this first place, and we keeping it rolling. Next game, Saints and the Dolphins. Now the Dolphins got on the Saints early, and they kind of coasted on that, even though the Saints came back and they made this a competitive game. Achane definitely needs raised. Like, he's the only one on his offense, only one on his team that's really doing something. I mean, you can say the defense. Mika Fitzpatrick came up late with a huge pick, but yeah. This Achane's the only one doing something, and Tua, he's still trash. 157 yards, 1 interception, and 4 sacks. This guy is looking like a backup, but they paid him so much money. I'm not sure it's the concussions getting to him. He never really had a big arm. He was more accurate. I know they had some injuries as well, but even when everybody was healthy, Tua was not looking like a generational quarterback. I don't know, something about those Alabama quarterbacks that's just not really sticky like that. So, Alabama is more of a university that produced a lot of great running talents. But in terms of passing the ball, quarterbacks are not really it. In terms of the Saints, man, Solik is looking kind of decent. Even though he got a loss, he had another game where he went 225 plus passing yards. So definitely love that. He had two touchdowns. But this Saints team has no running game. They had 81 total rushing yards, 47 for Devin Neal, and with a rookie quarterback, you're gonna need some more ballers. So I think with a lack of running game, this Saints team is definitely gonna be losing some more games. I expected Taysom Hill to be more involved than what he was. Yeah, he wasn't really involved, and I think that was a mistake. I think some big plays probably could have been made with Taysom Hill, both on the run game and the pass game. So I think that was a critical mistake for the Saints. Next game, Texas and the Colts. And this was another win, Figured the Texans was gonna win. The Texans are heating up at the right time. When I did my previous video, did not know Daniel Jones was going to be out with he wasn't out, but he got injured with a fractured fibula. He still ended up playing his game, but that limited him. And this Texas team already liked taking the rate of run. This is already one of the top defenses in the league, if not the top defense. If depending on how you look at it, you might say it's the Seattle Seahawks. You might say it's the Texans. But either way, this is a top defense in the league. This is a championship caliber defense. It finally looks like the offense is kind of heating up for it. And, it looks like the Texans is running for that division. The Colts is in that division, and the Colts been dropping some games. So this is a very winnable division. I expect the Texans to keep winning. And I kind of feel like they're going to win this division now. And these rookies are really stepping up. That's why I think they're going to win. Higgins and Woody Marks. At first in the season, they wasn't really utilizing them like that. But now, lately, these rookies been making some big plays when, they needed to be had. And the Colts, man, JT wasn't amazing. He still had a pretty good game, though. Don't get me wrong. 121 all-purpose yards, but he wasn't amazing. The Colts struggled. Colts need JT to pop off for like 2 touchdowns for them to feel comfortable. That just wasn't happening. Now Daniel Jones is kind of banged up. We're gonna see how their future looks going forward. Next game, this was another win for me. Falcons and the Jets. Like I said, I never would pick the Jets, but I figured the Jets was winning this one because they was just playing the Falcons. Had Kirk Cousins in the game. Even though Kirk Cousins didn't play too bad of a game, he actually had a pretty decent game. But it was nothing really impressive with this Jets win. Just playing a injured team like the Falcons. No Drake London. They without a receiver one, we just know it's all Bijan. Even though Bijan had another big game, he had 193 all-purpose yards, 1 touchdown, and shout out to Pitts as well. He had 7 catches for 82 yards, but no wide receiver one. Rhea keying in. They had a turnover on special teams, and that put the Jets up early. And really Tyrod. Funny enough, Tyrod is doing what we expect Justin Fields is doing. He's not really having a big game, but, got it done. Was passing to A.D. Mitchell, had 8 receptions for 102 yards and 1 touchdown. I mean, don't get it wrong. A.D. Mitchell, in my opinion, is still a bum. But yeah, he just had a good game. Sometimes it happens like that. But yeah, on to the next game. 49ers and the Browns. Figured the 49ers was going to win this one. The Browns is a below average team with a stellar elite defense. So, 49ers did what they were supposed to do, but nothing really impressive or noteworthy. It was a good game for Kittle. C-Mac was inefficient, but he scored a touchdown. But the problem with the Browns is they got no wide receivers. Even on that sideline, it was some videos showed out that Jerry Jeudy was arguing with Shedeur Sanders. And come on, Judy, you are in no position to be arguing. You dropping multiple balls. You never. I mean, outside of that one season with Jameis, you haven't really did anything since you came into the league. And we all know Jameis makes people relevant because he's gonna chuck it up. He's gonna give people opportunities. Not saying Shador's not doing that, but it's just Judy. You're just giving up on routes early. I don't know, man. You're just not an alpha. You're not an alpha. He wants to be treated like an alpha. And to be honest, I'm not even sure he's a wide receiver 2. Might be a wide receiver 3. But yeah, that was that game. No surprises really. This game was very, very surprising. The Rams and the Panthers. This was the upset heard around the world. Like nobody was predicted this. The Panthers just shocked everyone coming out with a win. Bryce Young was clutch. You know, he was clutch on fourth down, and that defense was huge. They forced 3 turnovers and even had a touchdown early in that game. And Stanford, he had all those turnovers. You know, three turnovers, man. He must have thought he was, playing for Detroit. Trying to stack up draft picks. But off game from Stanford. Wouldn't really look too much in that. Sometimes Stanford give you these type of games. He is a gunslinger. So with that gunslinger mentality, it's like a dog. Every dog got his days. So this was just an off day for the Rams. Still like them going forward. Panthers, but yeah, they're a streaky team, And this division is looking pretty competitive. Between the Panthers and the Buccaneers. So, the Panthers is going to be looking to stay competitive to win this division. Next game, Jaguars and the Titans. This was an L for me. I was kind of rooted for mayhem. Even though the Titans is the worst team in the league, I was just more leaning towards the Titans just because I just knew that Trevor Lawrence will make a couple mistakes. But Trevor Lawrence played turnover-free football, which was huge. Because typically, he's having interceptions, having fumbles. But yeah, he didn't turn over the ball. So, but he didn't really had that too much impressive stat line. 229 yards, 2 touchdowns. But I guess that's impressive for him. But the run game was weak. The Jags really didn't show nothing. But they was playing the Titans. And I know the Jaguars got a decent defense, but ultimately the Titans offense is very, very disappointing. Like they had no explosive plays. Most of all the catches and the pass plays and the receptions were pretty much checkdowns. So he can't do nothing with that, and he needs some explosive plays. Finally Tony Pollard, he had a decent game. If you want to call 60 yards decent, but given what he'd been doing in the previous games, this was a lot better. He was having less than 30 yards. So, this team just needs to retool, get a lot more offensive weapons. Calvin Ridley's out. They got a lot of young receivers, and a young quarterback with no running game. So, yeah, you always gonna struggle with that. Like I said, just kind of chose the Titans to win this game. Just simply because I know the Jaguars can make some boneheaded mistakes here and there, and I thought the Titans can make a couple scores, maybe one on special teams and whatnot. But funny enough, they even fumbled on special teams. So when the special teams is going bad, then the Titans is going bad because that's the only really bright spot for the Titans is sometimes they can make something happen on that side of the ball. But the next game. This was a close game. This was another L for me. I chose the Cardinals to win this game. Did not know Bucky Irvin was going to be back in this game. And he was a difference maker. Even though he didn't have that many yards, his presence was still felt. Baker is definitely simmered down. So that added element with Bucky Irvin coming out the backfield is really beneficial for him and his offense. As Baker only had 194 yards and 1 touchdown, and that 1 touchdown was to a big man, offensive lineman Tristan Wirfs. So, this Bucs team, they're very injured. Looks like they finally started to get back some of the guys like Bucky Irvin. But other than that, man, the Cardinals, another good game for them. Brissett, he's putting up numbers. Like I said, reminds me of a Jameis Winston. He's gonna put up some numbers, but not really gonna get these wins. But yeah, not a good game for him and Trey McBride, as he had 8 catches, 82 yards, and 1 touchdown. They just need another explosive player. I think they need another receiver. Marvin Harrison, he looks like he's pretty fine, but you need some more explosive players, both in the running game, in the passing game. I know that all the running backs are pretty much hurt, but yeah, they need some more explosive players on offense. Next game wasn't a game at all. Anybody could predict this, especially when J.J. McCarthy was ruled out the game. It just made it even worse. They had a rookie quarterback in, and I don't even believe he was drafted. And this guy just stunk it up. His defense, Seattle defense, had 4 interceptions on this guy, had a fumble recovery, 4 sacks, and they even returned one of those interceptions for a touchdown. So the offense was never clicking. And you see how defense is very, very elite. Like I was saying early in this video, you could take them or the Texans as one of the best defenses in the league, and they definitely showed that. And Seattle offense didn't really do nothing, to be honest. So this Vikings defense, actually showed some promise, held JSN in check. Darnold, I think he only had like 132 yards passing. So it's not like this offense really popped off. Like I said, it was mostly this defense putting their offense in scoring positions, and most of their Seattle Seahawks points came from the kicking game. So Myers really showed up, and he was kicking these field goals and keeping the Vikings away. But yeah, this Vikings defense actually had a pretty strong showing, but their offensive struggles were too much to overcome. Next game, the Bills just ran all over the Steelers. This was an L for me. It was close in the first half, but this defense just started just couldn't stop. They just ran one play, pretty much. They only needed one play to beat them, and that was Cook. He was just doing this inside zone, and he was killing them every time. I mean, he had 144 rushing yards. I mean, he didn't score a touchdown. But yeah, this team just ran one play, and the Steelers couldn't stop it. Let me go back to the Bills. Bills, Josh Allen had another turnover, so Josh Allen has not really been looking good, and that's concerning. I know Keon Coleman came back this game after being a healthy scratch for the last couple weeks, but yeah, this Bills team, I think they're gonna struggle going forward. The Steelers team definitely could have won this one, but it's just their offense isn't doing nothing. The offense actually caused the turnover. That turnover went for a touchdown, but it's still the offense only had 175 yards total. So that's running and passing. So that's just not going to get it done. Next game was the Raiders and the Chargers. So Raiders is the worst team. Well, I'll take that back. The Titans is the worst team. But, given expectations, I would say the Raiders is the worst team because they, invested so much in this veteran quarterback, Geno Smith, and Alshon Jeffrey. I know it's not Gentry's fault, but they just got a lot of offensive line problems. But yeah, this might be the worst team other than the Titans. They're going to be battling out for first overall pick. But yeah, the Chargers just played a weak opponent, pretty much. But it was a good game for Vidal, 126 rushing yards. But if you take outside that one big touchdown run which was for 59 yards, he really didn't have nothing. Was like 67 rushing yards if you take away that big run. J Herbo, Justin Herbert. He got banged up this game. But yeah, he's still looking like he's hurt. But even when he came in this game, he was a little banged up. I feel like Herbert's always kind of banged up every year he plays, but he kind of toughs it out. But yeah, Chargers is just an average team. I know they're in a mix with that wild card situation, but I really don't see the Chargers really doing too much. Joe out is out, and Amani Hypen, he's out. He'd probably be back next game, but yeah, this team has no running game. It looks like Justin Herbert's getting hurt, so that's going to affect the passing game. So this team is going to struggle going forward. Next game, this was the last game on Sunday, the Broncos and the Commanders. This was another L for me, man. And this was a close game. As you see, it was only a 1-point loss. And the Broncos really snuck one out. But shout out to Knicks, man. Credit dudes when credit's deserved. He had a big game, 321 yards. Had one touchdown, one interception, one sack. So, he came up big. Harvey had 2 touchdowns. And I think that's ultimately why they're going to struggle going forward, because Harvey is not an efficient running back. Like, the 2 touchdowns and the touchdowns he get are like goal line touchdowns. And he's not like a bruiser. So, they have to scheme up plays for him to get in the end zone, opposed to him really affecting the game. He had less than 40 rushing yards. I think he might have had less than 40 all-purpose yards altogether. So this team is gonna. I think this is a fake one-seater, unless they can keep depending on his defense, which isn't a bad idea to do. But I don't know if Knicks is gonna keep showing up like he did. But yeah, shout out to Marcus Mariota too. He had a big game. Shout out Terry McLaurin. He had a big game. Shout out to Zach Ertz. He had a big game. So they all showed up. Just the Commanders is missing some key pieces, but they played a really good game against a very elite defense, and they just came up a little short going up for 2. But hey, when you got a bad record, you might as well go for the win instead of the tie. So, definitely can't be mad at that. And then last game, Monday Night Football. New England keeps it rolling. Another win for me. May solidify his MVP season. 282 yards, another 2 touchdowns. And in terms of the Giants, man, they just look like an emotional wreck throughout this game. They was getting big hits. Big hit on Jackson Dart again. Looks like he's not protecting himself. I know he's a rookie, but kind of want to shut him down, because if he gets injured, that's going to even derail potentially the next season. But hey, I know you got to keep him out there and allow him to learn from his rookie mistakes. And in that game also, Gunnar Macheski, he had a big hit. So this Giants team is taking big hits, and it's not looking good for him. But yeah, like I said, went sub 500 this week, 7-9. Not loving that. Man, I thought I was gonna keep the hot streak rolling. So definitely apologize to anybody who tells some of these picks that didn't fall through, especially on the Thanksgiving card. So blame me. Definitely. Looking to improve. So be on the lookout for my next preview show. When I preview week 14, I'm gonna give you some of my Moneyline picks. I'm gonna be a little bit more strategical with this one. This last one, I was predicting a lot of upsets, and just missed out. Just missed out. Some of these games were close ones, and and some of these games were not so much. But I know it's coming down to playoff time, so it can be a lot of weird things shaking up, and that's what I was kind of looking forward to. But no excuses. 79, bad. But yeah, keep watching, keep supporting, and I'm definitely gonna get back in my winning columns. So thank you for watching, and see you on my next video.